If anyone is able to
I got it.
Please read it.
All right. Okay. Board of Supervisors, County of Lake State of California proclamation. This proclamation for the Lake County Behavioral Health Services recognizes September 5th through the 11th as National Suicide Prevention Week. Whereas this week of September 5th through 11th, 2021 is National Suicide Prevention Week, a time in which individuals, organizations, and communities around the country join their voices to amplify the message that suicide can be prevented. And whereas the past year has presented our communities with challenges and led to transitions that expected or unexpected, welcome or not, can be unsettling, disorienting, and stressful. And whereas the pandemic has changed the fabric of life and major life changes are environmental risk factors for suicide. And whereas knowing the signs of suicide, finding the words to communicate with someone they're concerned about, and reaching out to local resources. And whereas we know that connecting, working with, and supporting one another can help prepare us for the future. And whereas all Californians are urged to play a role in suicide prevention and promote mental health and wellness as we strive towards zero suicides. And whereas September 5th through 11th recognizes across the United States as Suicide Prevention Week, provides the opportunity to educate our community about the warning signs for suicide, how to reach out to those experiencing an emotional crisis, and connect to resources. Now therefore be it proclaimed by all members of Lake County Board of Supervisors on this 14th day of September 2021 that the week of September 5th through the 11th will be declared Suicide Prevention Week, and that the day of September 10th be declared World Suicide Prevention Day, passed and adopted this 14th day of September 2021.
Thank you very much, Supervisor. Director Metcalf, did you wish to speak on this item, to add anything?
Yes, just briefly. Thank you, Supervisor Crandall, for saving me there. Actually, I have Carrie Manning, our Mental Health Services Act team leader, with us here that will accept the proclamation. She oversees our prevention activities in our department, and hoping she might say a couple of words about this. Carrie, are you here? I think I saw you.
So she's... I'm not seeing her on the... There we go. She was moving.
That was weird. I got cut off for a second. I think it's a Monday. Good morning, and thank you so much for presenting the proclamation. And Carrie Manning from Lake County Behavioral Health Services, MHSA team lead. Last week, the prevention staff were out and about in the community and did some sit and chats with different communities. I know here in Lakeport, they went around to different businesses and they were at the farmer's market, just trying to get the word out that it's okay to ask somebody if they're thinking about killing themselves. We promoted the Candlelight Vigil that happened on the 10th, which was Friday. And we are very active out in the schools. One of our goals is to train, as many school personnel and staff as we can with mental health first aid, as well as, giving the kids the teen mental health first aid training. And that is where we teach kids, the signs of mental health issues, substance use, how to talk to somebody about it, and also who they can go to. One piece of that program is that at least 10% of the staff at the school have to be trained in youth mental health first aid, and so those are the first aiders that the youth can go to. This is really exciting for our community. I think that it's going to have a huge impact long term. And then for suicide loss survivors, those left behind after someone dies by suicide, International Day of Loss Survivors is November 20th. And so we're planning to have a candlelight vigil at the park in front of the museum here in Lakeport on that day. So I will send information to all of you, and we'll get that out into the community. But thank you very much.
Thank you so much for all your efforts. I know that it's awkward to have those conversations with people, but as I always say, it's better to be awkward than later on be embarrassed or feel guilty that you never asked or talked or made those questions, because it's easier to deal with it if we just hit it head on.
Yes, it is.
Any further comments from the board before we move on? All right, and want to make sure and open it to the public. Anyone from the public have a comment before we move on?